Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of AfterLife SMP. Today we're over here in the commercial district because I removed my old shop. No one was using it, and every time I brought it up, people were just like, eh. So I removed it, and we're going to do something a little bit better. So the server is in dire need of some materials, and no one around here really sells them. So I feel like we're going to take this nice little curved hill here for our new shop. Maybe not all of it, maybe just a portion of it, maybe just right here. But I need to go and start getting the supplies. So I will get back to you guys in a second when I'm over at where we need to be. Jeez, I come down here to steal a beacon and I'm already barraged by a creeper, and there's more over there. Light up your dang areas, guys. Jeez. Who do you think you are, getting off endangering the lives of other people? Other people on the server don't do, terrible things. They don't go around not lighting up areas for people to get killed by mobs. They don't go around stealing beacons or anything like that. Nope, nothing like that. So you know what, guys? Fix your stuff. If you want to come down here in mine, light it up. Light it up, or else, we're gonna be in trouble. Look at that. 2 creepers over there, 3 creepers over there. It's a terrible time. I can't believe we have such people on the server that would sink so low to do such a terrible thing as not put torches up. Okay, so I've just been digging this hole out for the past maybe couple minutes here. I have a beacon, but sadly I forgot to bring my efficiency 5 pick, so it's pretty much useless. But the materials we have on us now should be good enough to start, so we're going to head back over to the shops, but first we need to go and make a detour back over to the Christmas village to pick something up. We're going to make part of the shop, and then I have to come back here once again. So let's get on with that now. Okay, so I think we're good to get going here. Let's start working on this hill. I grabbed my shulker box from the Christmas village. That was the little detour I said. I needed my Christmas box because it's a shulker box and I can just store some items into it. So I do also have a reference pulled up of the Mesa. We do need to start off this bottom layer with some hardened clay. Now let's sort of figure out how big we want the shop to be. So maybe from here all the way to maybe just no, maybe not there. Maybe right next to it, right around here, and then we'll sort of scraggle it off, so it looks like it's blending back into the normal terrain. But now we can start by going around and slowly just replacing all of the grass here with the blocks that it needs to be. So these ones are just normal hardened clay, and then above them would be brown, normal hardened clay, red, stuff like that. So we're going to sort of make it look like a mesa, and it just makes it a whole lot easier for me for terraforming right now. Nothing looks more natural than an already generated terrain from Minecraft. So if we just replace the blocks on it, it should look pretty good. But let me get all of the hardened clay layers done, and then I'll be back with you guys to do the colors. Okay, so just before we do the color, I'm thinking that we're going to start laying down the red sand and then slowly mix in other materials, but I will have to run back to the mesa very shortly here to actually go and gather more materials. But let's start laying down this red sand, and I'm going to talk about the little plans for the shop. So there's going to be a sort of cabin thing up there, maybe just a tent and stuff to make it look like an old western camp out that's sort of trading, but what it's going to sell is the mesa blocks and such like that. And maybe we'll expand it back since there is quite a bit of space up here. Maybe we can have multiple shops up here, so we could have like a tent over here that's selling the mesa blocks, and we can have maybe like another tent or camp over here that's selling ender pearls and stuff. Since no one's really selling ender pearls yet, I don't believe Duke's selling ender pearls over at his ender shop. Actually, hold on, let's go see if he is. Okay, I just checked. He's not. He is only selling the purple blocks, the endstone blocks, and the end rods. So we're still good on that. We can still sell a little bit of ender pearls. So let's get over here and finish up the red sand. Okay, so we can do the first color layer, which is going to be with the red hardened clay, and it's going to go here. We needed brown for down here, but I didn't actually end up picking up brown. I thought I did, but apparently I did not. So that's fine. We do have to go back to the mesa like I've already said. So we'll just pick it up then when we go. But we have a couple colors that we can do. We're doing the red one right now, and then up here past this one, it goes with the light gray, the white, and the yellow as well. So we're going to do that, and then when I finished these, I will give you guys a little bit of an update to let you guys see how it looks. So I was over at the Mesa gathering a whole bunch of materials when I guess it started lagging, and when it stopped lagging, I was dead by creeper, and so now I get to walk back to the Mesa to try and collect all my stuff. Hopefully it's still there, because if it's not, I'm pretty sure I'm not finishing this episode. Okay, so just before I do it, I thought I'd show you guys the sort of color layers that's going on here. So it's brown, it's normal, it's red, it's normal, it's orange, it's gray, it's light gray, white, and then yellow, and then up here will just be normal wherever it is, and over Eh, that was terrible. That was terrible fighting. Wow. Oh, no, I'm chicken. Chicken took the bullet for the creeper. They're working together. Anyway, up here is probably going to be a normal hardened clay just so it doesn't look really, really weird. I'll transition it into normal hardened clay with whatever layer ends up being this layer. So I think it might be, yeah, I think it might be yellow. So I'm going to change this into hardened clay as well. And ooh, Night Fox is making a game in the games district. I'll have to tell you guys about that when he releases that, but let me get back to work on this. So there's a lot of people on the server right now. Well, Daniel was also on, but he seems to have left, and they've all come over and promptly said something, except for Crash, I believe, said something about what I'm building. So you know what? It's already gaining more traction than the redstone shop. It's great. You know what? Pieces are falling into place. This is the plan. It's going to be much more popular than the redstone shop would ever have been. So I died trying to put the beacon back that we stole at the start of the episode, and a zombie has pretty much gotten all of my important stuff and all of the things that I need to actually live. We didn't pick up the arrows. That's a shame. So let's try and run over here and just pick up an arrow or something. And we have like nothing. Ah, so done. I've died so many times today. Attempt to try this again. It didn't seem like they picked up all the rest of my stuff. He does still have most of my stuff though, so he's still a threat. Bow is over here. Pick up the bow. Please, for the love of, drop my items. Yes, he did. Okay, all of them. Fantastic. Just save them from the creeper, and we're good. Okay, now I can just make the rest of this beacon and then relax. I I don't. So I think I've given up right about now. That's like the fifth death I've had today. Obviously, not supposed to be on the server today, or I'm just having a really bad day. I don't know, but it's just starting to get really frustrating. Okay, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to go around to some sort of random spots, like here as one of them, and we're just going to make some sort of random little tower things that are going to reach up just a little bit. They're just going to be in the background and a little bit of decoration, but I think that's going to look pretty cool. Let's sort of add a little bit of variation in how it's going to look and what is on it. So let's add some white like here. But then behind the white, let's switch back to red for one of them, and then to the light stained. And then right here at the top, let's bring this up too, and see how that looks. Okay, so I do like that. It's just a little bit too rough. So we should have kept it just sort of layer by layer. That makes it look a little bit better. Up here as well, just clean up the entire thing. Yeah, and let's actually do a little bit of changing to this area over here. I would much rather this to be sticking out just a little bit more. And over here on the back as well, let's just make a big one sticking out like this and build this up just a tiny bit. Boom, boom. Red, and then the light stained, the oop, the light stained, and then the red. Break this one, and let's take a step back and see our little tower. Um, okay, definitely needs to be shaved down again. So I don't like this. It was too thick, and it needs to be a little bit taller. So let me work around with the pillar a little bit, and then I'll see you back in a second. Okay, so we got one of our little pillars done. I ended up just skinnying it down and then adding a little bit of detail and stuff on the sides. This side's a little bit thicker, this side's a little bit thinner, stuff like that. I think it looks pretty well. Now let me do maybe one or two more, one over there and one right around here, and then we should be good. Okay, so I just wanted a nice aerial view of our pillars for right now, and let's see how they look once the fog actually clears through. They could do with being a little bit bigger. That would make me a little bit happier since they do seem to be on the small side. And maybe one can go right there and behind there a little bit. So maybe I will have to make these a little bit bigger and add a couple just there and over here. So see you back in another second when I'm done that. Okay, so I added two more pillars and I changed how they looked a little bit. So that's our area right now. Of course, we're not fully done with it yet. We do need to get more supplies and actually make some builds around the area, but don't worry about that. Okay, so I took a small break just to get away from this for a little while. I was a little bit frustrated at all of those deaths, but we're back and I want to fix up these three pillars here. This one, and this one. These three middle ones. I don't like how they look, but Off-Camera Crash was kind enough to help me out and give me some hardened clay that he had. So we've been using that around the area to make it more clayified, and around here, around this edge, and then going down along here against the coast, I want to make this fully grass and plant some trees, just some normal oak trees, to give it the illusion of that Mesa Plains. Actually, no, this is what we'll do. We'll change this edge down here into the normal Mesa, but over here in this sort of area, just along here, we're going to change this all into dirt so we can have sort of that Mesa Plains looking area. Let me get to work on clayifying this side of the hill and then getting this turned into grass, and then I will be back with you guys in a second. Okay, so I just recorded quite a bit of content with my microphone off, so silly me. That was really stupid of me, but it's okay. Microphone's on now, I think. I hope. You know, if you're hearing this right now, that means it's on. Congrats. You have ears, and I actually fixed my microphone. But I realized after doing a couple things on camera, well, off camera technically now, that the biome that I was trying to replicate from the Mesa biome was not actually this green. It is mainly the coarse dirt with the green patches mixed in. So it's not really all green. There's just these random green patches mixed in is where the trees go in the biome. So now it's my job to mix the coarse dirt in with the grass and just change it all over to pretty much coarse dirt and then remix in the grass parts. Okay, so this is what we have done so far. I changed all of the grass that I could into coarse dirt. There's still a little bit down here, but I feel like I'm going to leave that. But along one of the lines here, so this line here that's already hardened clay, I'm going to change this line going across into hardened clay, just so it looks like the grass is actually sort of standing on the mesa a little bit, because the clay stuck out a little bit over near the edge. And yes, I did go grab a little bit more hardened clay from Crash. I will be giving him a couple stacks back just to make it up, since I do feel bad that I am mooching his clay so badly, but he did say I could use it. But let's take a quick look at that, and then we're going to go into the coarse dirt, lay around some normal dirt and some grass, and we'll see how that looks. But that looks pretty good. That brings in the little break that I wanted. Now let's go up there and add the dirt and grass. So I put the dirt in very randomly. Now we'll start mixing in the grass, and it does make quite a difference. It looks better from up here, but you know, on the ground, it's just a slight difference that I think it needed. As you're walking along, you do notice it, but it's not too terrible. It's just a slight difference that I think it needed. Now it's time to slowly but surely put in the grass. Okay, so our little green spots are planted and growing. I was going to show you guys them back when they're all fully grown, but I didn't really feel like it. So we're going to go around to each of the green little areas and just place one tree. Ooh, I didn't even know Hutchie was on. I'm sorry, Hutchie. Did he say hello? He said hello. I feel so bad. But we're going to place some trees just in the little green areas, even in, maybe not in that one. Maybe that one's where the path will go. But maybe just in these areas right now, and I think that'll look pretty decent if they're good trees. Okay, that's a pretty decent tree. I'll accept that. Maybe a little bit low. We might have to redo that one. That's really good. I like the slightly taller trees. They just work a little bit better. And what are we gonna get? Ooh, that's a very nice tree, actually. It's a big, tall tree, but I think we needed a big, tall tree there. Okay, and maybe our last little place for a tree is just right back here, right against the edge. It feels like there needs to be something back here. So let's place one right here in the middle of the view, and then we'll step back and let's see how that looks now that we're a little bit more encased. So I'm trying to go for like an encased feel. So maybe like one behind here a little bit, like one back here, just one little random lonely one right here, just to fill in that space, and then maybe just one back here, but we want a tall one back here. So let's see if we can just get a tall one. So let's go like this: one, two, three, and torches, one, two, three, oak sapling, and let's see if we can just get a nice tall one back here first. There we go. Fantastic. Right on our last bone meal, too. That's pretty lucky. Okay, let's come back here, see how we're looking now, and okay, I like that. That makes it fill in a little bit better, and it makes the area look a little bit better. I'm still going to do a lot of work over in this little area to make it look good, but that's going to do it for this episode of Afterlife SMP. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next episode and video. Remember, stay fancy, and peace out. Bye-bye.